Hey guys, Pete over here. Sunday morning, June 2nd. Got a cup of coffee over here in my Craigslist Hunter mug. Thanks for the mug. Long coming video. Last one I did like this was back in beginning of January. I did a sales video on December, which was unbelievable month. That month we did 70K. This is going to be a sales video, and I picked up 30 plus some cool items that you guys can look for that sold in May, and May was a really good month as well. We did over 45K. But guys, overall the last couple months on eBay been extremely difficult and a big time roller coaster. And what I mean by that, I'm gonna show you guys some charts here, because since eBay implemented good till cancel, our sales, and this was probably second part of March when they implemented, our sales plummeted. And let me break it down here. Let me talk about this first here, and then we're gonna get into the sales video. So let me show you a chart what we did in March. March was a very good month. In the second part of March, good to cancel listings come in for eBay, and we take a dip. So March was actually over $53,000, and by the end of the month we start dipping. Usually we run at about, right now, at about 55 to 60 grand a month. When I was talking about January, February, and then March, and all of a sudden we start taking dip. We dropped about 7% by the end of March, and end up doing over 53 grand. April shows up. Here's the chart for April, and you can see a tremendous drop, almost 26% drop. We did only over 36 grand, which is very unusual. Usually April is super steady month for us. So it took us whole month trying to figure out what's happening, how to handle the good to cancel thing. And we did figure out, I think, and that would be another video. I'll make another whole video how we approach, how we do things right now with good to cancel, how we rearrange things to hit eBay algorithm correctly so it still produces the same results that we had before, which is very interesting. But like I said, that's going to be another topic for another video. And then look at this. This is a chart for May. After we did some twin in that process, we end up doing over 45 grand, up 20% again, and on a way back to kind of normal. So it was very interesting what kind of impact this good to cancel had on our eBay business. But we managed. We figured out. It took us over a month to do that, but the game is on. So let's get into the video right now. I'm going to show you guys over 30 interesting items. I try not to show here anything that I showed in my previous videos throughout May that you guys might have already seen, but still this is stuff that you can easily pick up at the garage sales or thrift stores or flea markets or Facebook marketplaces. Any of those apps, you can find this stuff and flip it for good money. And I think the stuff that I'm going to show you sold relatively quickly. And when I say quickly, usually probably within, I would say, 30 to 60 days. So in about 2 months period, which is pretty good turnaround. We sold in May close to 600 items. So the sell-through rate was pretty good, about 45 to 50%, which I like that a lot, with about average selling price of about 90 bucks. So that was really good. All right, let's get in. Let me show you the first item. All right, let's go. First item, Mirage speakers. Paid up for these. They came into the shop. In the picture it's hard to tell, but they're tiny guys. They're bookshelf speakers. They're about this big with these special tweeter cones on top. Paid up, paid $100 for them, sold for $194.95 with $30 shipping. Mirage makes spectacular speakers. Anytime you can scoop these up anywhere, buy them because they sell instantly. Very, very good product. Up next is this item that we got for free. We did a clean out with Adrian, removing and buying actually from a lady bunch of vintage. You've seen the video. Vintage cabinets, metal cabinets, file cabinets. And she gave this machine to us for free. She says, I'm gonna throw this out. If you guys want it, take it. And we did. It's a twist tie machine. that cuts. You have the big spools of twist tie, and you can set measurements on it how much you want it to cut, and it cuts the twists for you at a different length. Listed up, sold probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. So never turn down free stuff, right? $349 with $35 shipping. This is a first one for me. Never sold one before. I would probably never look this at anywhere at this thing when I was passing by at flea market or garage sale. But since I got it for free, right, we threw it up there and it sold in very short time. So keep an eye on something like this in the future if you ever run into. All right, number 3, this took a little bit longer to sell. This is one of those items that we had in the shop for about half a year. And after 3 months, it didn't move in the shop. We put it out on eBay. It's a professional vintage sewing machine, but it's one of those heavy duty machines that you can do like, you know, heavy materials, leather. We put it out for $500. Adrian bought this really cheap. He only paid $50 for this. We put it up for $500, and I think it took about 2 months to sell. Took a best offer for $429. This was a local pickup, but the person who bought it was actually from Pennsylvania, and they arranged a pickup for this. And the guy came out, loaded up in his van. So very good sale. Still keep an eye on professional, you know, sewing machines. Sewing machines are still selling very good. Next is a Sybian cymbal. Cymbals, Zildjian, Sybian, all kinds of cymbals. Anytime I put them up, if they're in a good conditions, cymbals sell. So don't pass them on. If you spot a cymbal at the garage sale, grab them. Usually you can find them relatively cheaply. This one sold for $85 with $18 shipping. And don't be scared to put shipping on this stuff because people know that they're big, they're heavy. It's gonna take some packing materials to ship this out. $85, pick up cymbals all the time, good sellers. This was a very nice sale. Louisville Slugger baseball bat, softball bat actually. Picked it up for I think $25. Why am I doing this? I never played baseball. Actually I did back in 8th grade. I hated it. I was never good at it. I sold for $129.95 with $15 shipping. Guys, baseball bats sell. Big range. Obviously you gotta know kind of what you're looking at. But they are easy to look up. The 99% of them, they will have a model number, so it's easy for you to identify them, and they're everywhere. Garage sales especially, so you can find some good baseball bats out there to make some good money. I'm not a clothing seller, but this is a clothing item. When I spot it, I'll pick it up. There's still money in Robert Graham shirts. Obviously, everybody knows they're pretty expensive shirts. This one, I think I bought it like dirt cheap because it was a 50% day off. Normally this was like a $5 shirt at that local thrift, and I think I got it for like $2.50. Sold within a couple weeks for $35 with $5 shipping. So Robert Graham still sells. Next, you see me pick this up all the time, especially at thrift stores. You can usually find these just for a couple dollars. They're giving them away. This one I paid I think $4.99. It's a Orec XL, the professional. It sits, you can set it on the top, on the floor, on a desk. It's like an air clean purifier. They sell very good. Every time I get it, it's between $40 to $50 bill depending on the condition of the unit. Great sellers, they sell really quickly. This guy you've seen in my video probably, it was January, maybe February I bought this, and we had it in the shop for a little bit with a very high price on it. It didn't move, and then we moved it to eBay. It took about, I want to say 2 months on eBay to sell this. Bell & Howell speaker. This was a speaker part of the whole unit. What I mean by that, it had a projector to go with it, but we didn't get the projector. But the speaker was in super nice condition. And what happens with these speakers and these boxes, they're such a cool looking piece that a lot of guitar players, they make amps out of them. Tube amps, and they're very cool looking, so that's why they sell very well. This one sold for $229 with $25 shipping. This next item here I included because I sell these quite often, and I don't think I ever talked about this, but the bit sharpeners, knife sharpeners from Drill Doctor, they sell very well. This was a brand new item, just open box but never used. You could see there was never a bit or a knife stuck in it to be sharpened. Sold instantly, $90 with free shipping, and I think we paid $10 for it. Next, Unbelievable found. I found this at my local Goodwill, $6.99. This was a Pioneer laser disc and karaoke machine. It would also play regular DVDs and stuff, but it sold like within 2 days for $209.95, $35 shipping. Guy gave me a great feedback and he says he loved it. $210, $35 shipping. Great item. That was a great flip. Next two items I'm going to show, you probably seen it in one of my videos probably a couple months ago as well. I bought a whole collection of Tonka cars for like 80 or 100 bucks. A lot of them. Now Tonka market is pretty full right now. There's lots of stuff out there, but if you have unique pieces, unusual pieces, and in a good condition, they will still sell. It's pretty saturated, but you can still make some sales. This is one of them. This was a semi that carries cars on it. All three cars were with it. Beautiful condition overall. Sold within a week. $175 with $25 shipping. And same thing with this next unit. Part of the same buy. Sold for $199.95 with $30 shipping. Fireman truck. All the letters were there. All accessories came with it. Good condition. Just had to be cleaned up. Sold also instantly within a couple days. So if you have the right stuff from Tonka, it will still bring great money. Next is an old Bose Acoustimas complete theater package. This is probably their 90s technology. It still sells very, very well. Bose just has a great following. So anytime you can pick up stuff from Bose, even subs by itself, cubes by itself, connectors, holders, hangers, individual speakers, they will all bring good money. This one we paid 20 bucks for it, sold for $149.95 with $30 shipping. You can't beat that. So, and it was like within a few days. So Bose, always great item to flip. I'm throwing this in because I thought it was very interesting. Disney stuff is like this. It's hard to predict what's gonna sell and what, it's gonna sit forever. This probably took a month to sell. But I thought it was unusual enough that it was worth putting out there. Sold for $26.95 with $10 shipping. It's a set of golf balls, 12 golf balls with all major characters from Disney, like Winnie the Pooh, Donald, Dumbo, Minnie, Mickey, all of these characters. Took a little bit to sell, but it sold. I think we had like $5 in it. So it's still pretty good flip. It's a hit and miss with Disney. So you just got to feel out the market. You got to do your research. Next. And I sold within the last couple years quite a few of these models. This is probably, I want to say, early to mid 70s. I had planes, I had boats. This is a vintage Harbor Master boat kit. Big. Box was about this size, this thick, this wide. $10 I paid. $149.95 and it's still sold within a week. Very good flip. I sold planes, I sell boats. Old model kits that can't be bought anymore sell for really, really good money. So if you can spot one at the flea market or garage sale, scoop them up because they sell very well. Here's a cool item because it's only a sticker, right? G.I. Joe has a huge following, all the dolls, everything sells really well for G.I. Joe. Even little parts, guns, helmets, all kinds of stuff sells. And this is a great example of that too. This is just a couple stickers, right, on a sheet. This is vintage G.I. Joe 1964 division patch identification ribbons. And these are just decals. Sold for $35 with $4 shipping. Just wow on that. Amazing. Epson projector. So the video projectors are pretty good sellers. There's a big range from them. High def, just the office use only. 720, 1080, there's as good as 4K right now. They all sell pretty good and they're relatively small. They're usually very small boxes. You can easily ship them. This one sold for $155 with $30 shipping. If you spot them, buy them because this one probably took maybe 2-3 days to sell. If you price them at the right price point, they will move quickly. Next, I'm throwing this in because I sell a lot of Starrett stuff. This is precision for mechanics, lots of different tools that they make. This was a 3 bubble level. in a nice vintage wooden box. This is an older piece of equipment. It still brought great money. We paid $10 for this, sold for $110 with $15 shipping. Keep in mind that brand, Starrett. And you will find this, especially at the flea markets. Vintage stuff sells very well. Very well made equipment for very precise precision stuff. So keep an eye on that. Here's an item that it's very, I think, extremely good niche actually to get in on eBay and sell this stuff on eBay. First of all, a lot of this stuff is out there. Garage sales, flea markets, thrift shops. Anywhere you're gonna look, you're gonna find vintage watches, okay? Easy to store, easy to ship. Mostly the range of stuff that was from like 50s, 60s, 70s. All these watches sell in that $50 to $80 range. Not super expensive, not super cheap, just enough to make a great profit. Usually you can, on the garage sales, you can find these just for a few dollars. Super easy to ship, and there's a ton of collectors. People love these vintage watches. They don't want to buy, Rolexes for thousands of dollars. They're collecting this kind of stuff and they can afford it. So it's a very good niche to get into, vintage watches. This one we had a couple dollars in. It sold for $46.95 with $6 shipping. Love it. Here's a very unusual item that I probably got peanuts in it, maybe $1 or $2. This came in a lot that I bought from my guy Daryl in Chicago when I go there every couple months to pick through his garage. He's a Chicago garbage man. He gets all kinds of stuff. And this was in one of the boxes on the bottom. It's by a company called Greenlee. It's a Model 720. It's a metal start puncher. Look at the money that this thing brought. $80. I had no idea. That actually was funny because we almost threw this away. And we had it in a separate bin that we were sorting stuff from him. And it's like, this is nothing. Let me look it up. And we did. And it's just like, look at this. $80 with $20 shipping. Wasn't big. About this big. Pretty heavy though, but unusual. Never seen it. So you learn all the time, guys. Keep an eye on this Greenlee thing. Cool item here. I had to put a little bit of work into this, but it was very well worth it. So a guy brings in a sub, a powered subwoofer Infinity, and it was shot. The amp that was in this power sub was dead or was doing something crazy, and I still bought it from him. I bought it for $5 and I took the sub out. I threw the box away, I threw the amp away, and I put the sub 12-inch on eBay, sold within a few days, $55 plus $16 shipping. So you always got to think outside the box, right? Oh, it's broken, it's not gonna bring any money. No, it still brings money if you know what to do with it. So, and Infinity, obviously pretty good brand. This is another example of the same idea. This sold for parts and repair only. This is a Philips that I bought at the thrift store for $4.99. This was a DVD recorder. Obviously, if it's in working good order, this unit will bring about $150. But it wasn't. It was messed up. It was doing goofy stuff. Still put it out for parts, brought $49.95 with $18 shipping. So it doesn't mean if it doesn't work that it's not going to bring any money if it's a good product. Here's a cool item. Even though that this is older technology, this is a cordless Makita saw, only 6.5 inch, so very small, no battery, but it does have original carrying case. Pretty still desirable. It did have a charger, but no battery. $69.95, $25 shipping. I picked this up from a local picker. I bought a few items that day from him, and I think I paid either $15 or $20 for this. So just because it's super old, it doesn't mean it won't sell when it comes to tools. There's stuff that the guys carpenters who loves their tools, and if it broke and he's got 5 batteries, he's gonna look for it and buy it. So don't discard older technology. Look stuff up. Very cool item. This came into the shop. I paid $15 for this. It's a Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes, very collectible figurine. It's a stein. It's a drinking stein. It opens up and you can pour your beer or whatever in there and it closes up. This was never used, had an original certificate inside. I'm telling you, Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny stuff, every time I get something, it sells. There's a huge following. So this one sold for $130 with $20 shipping. Super fragile. We double boxed it. I mean, ton of bubble wrap obviously around it. It got there in one piece. The guy gave us a beautiful feedback on this. Bugs Bunny stuff, guys, sells all the time. Very cool find too. This was a Grunding shortwave radio. And actually, when I got this from also Daryl from Chicago on a pick. It was all wet. It was sitting on the bottom of the bin, or when he found it in the garbage, I guess it got wet. We dried it up. The manual, the book was this thick, and it was also so very wet. So we left it out for a few days, got it dried out, worked perfectly, no issues in it. I tested. Overall, was in mint condition. The unit itself sold for $99.95 with $10 shipping. You know, vintage shortwave radios, especially like from Grunding, they will sell for good money. All right, next, as you guys know, I've been selling some of the toys that I got from Eric. We've been very selective what we are selling. I've been showing quite a bit of stuff in my videos. I don't think I showed this. This is a vintage Voltron Lion diecast. Number 5 yellow, number 2 red, number 1 plastic body, Japan. Sold for $40 with $13 shipping. I'm still learning about the toys. It's very exciting. Great money in toys. I'm kind of flying through these because there's quite a bit. I don't want to make this video to be 3 hours long. So next up is Garmin GPS. Believe it or not, GPSs still sell. I heard somebody say don't buy GPSs anymore because people use their phones. They don't sell anymore. You gotta look this stuff up. Yes, there's some stuff out there that will only sell for $15, but there's lots of GPSs that will still bring good money, especially for truckers. Trucker GPSs, big bucks. This one sold for $79.95 with free ship. Anytime we do free shipping, that means we had quite a bit of competition against it. To stand out, that's why I throw free shipping on it. I think we had 10 bucks in this. Very cool item here. It took a little bit to sell, but as soon as spring came up, it did sell. We listed this, I believe, end of February, beginning maybe of March. Took a couple months to sell. It's a vintage Hotton fly rod, 8-footer. Probably, I want to say from 1950s, maybe early 60s. Not a big money maker. $59.95 with $10 shipping. We got only just a few dollars in it, so still a great flip. And actually, when you think about it, they're very easy to ship. Fly rods or any fishing rods, they can fit to tubes in this side. And I usually ship them with, I buy 2.5 or 3-inch PVC pipes, cut them up, stick it in there, super safe that way, and that way it goes. Next, it's vintage Wen tool. It's a electric planer with an original box. Now, back in the day, Wen was a pretty good company, very sought after company. And then late 70s to 80s, they really fell off and disappeared, and they started making crappy tools. But the ones that were made back in 50s and 60s, very popular, and if you have them in a great condition, they will still sell for good money. This is a good example. You'll find this, you'll find this at the garage sales, flea markets. If you can find it with the box and manual, great. $49.95 with $20 shipping, and we had only like $5 in it, and it sold within a couple weeks. Next, one of my favorite items to sell, and actually one of the best items that we sell in a shop, knives. Knives sell all the time, all kinds of knives, and they sell very well on eBay as well. Somebody asked me the other day, how did we do with our big collection of knives that we bought, last year? We sold everything. So knives sell extremely well. This is a good example. We probably had just a few dollars in this one, $44.95 with $4 shipping. This one is called Physician Doctor Knife, Brown Tan Bone, 1997. So it's not even that old, but knives, I'm telling you guys, you can find them everywhere, buy them, they sell good, easy to ship, easy to store, great item to go after. This item sold twice. I sold it about a month and a half ago, and the guy who got it, he said there was a issue with it, it wasn't working correctly. I'm like, I know, I tested this for 100%, and he was fishing for a partial refund. I'm like, no. Ship it back, I'll give you your money back. He shipped it back. There was nothing wrong with the item. I think he just, wanted to get it a little bit cheaper from us, or or maybe he had regrets that it wasn't the model that he really wanted. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We relisted, sold again. I bought this for like $3.99 at Goodwill. It's a vintage, made in Japan CD player. Vintage CD players, if you know what you're looking for, that will bring some crazy money, and usually you can find them super cheap. You gotta know your stuff. Late 80s, early 90s, but most of it late 80s. Has to be made in Japan. A lot of different brands out there. $39.95, $17 shipping. Great pickup. And this is gonna be the last item I'm gonna show you guys. This is a Pentax K2 SLR camera bundle, obviously made in Japan with beautiful lens. You know, cameras are fantastic niche to be in. You do have to understand the cameras, how they work, and so you can tell people what you're selling. Don't just get into it. If you don't know much about cameras, then you best off just listing as is, not tested. That way you kind of cover your butt. But if you know what you're looking at, there's some great money. And the way I want to end this video showing you this one sold for $160. We paid $50 for this with $13 shipping. The reason I left this as a last piece to show you guys, because I want to give a shout out. If you want to get into the niche of cameras, go out and check out a channel, Crazy Picker Life. Wheeler, dealer, I love these guys. They build their whole business selling cameras. They figure out a niche. They made that niche to be a huge business for them. One of the most successful resellers, especially on YouTube, that I would recommend following. I'm gonna put the link below to their channel. Go check them out. Unbelievable channel. They disappeared for a little bit. They're back. They're sharing their knowledge. Love it. Crazy Picker Life. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this. I kind of flew through these 30 plus items, but I don't want to make these videos super long, but I'll give you enough info on every item that you can, you know, make your own decisions if you want to go after any of these products or not. There's a ton of stuff out there. Man, there's millions of things out there to be found and be flipped. Go out there, do it. It's doable. No question about this. This is one of the best times to be in this business. eBay is good. Like I said, I will make another video explaining the hurdles that I had of good to cancel, that we figured it out and now it's smooth sailing again. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Well, if you didn't, you know what to do. Subscribe if you haven't done so, if it's your first time on this channel. Till next time, cheers.